Yoga with Wendy. Buddy and I are here this morning for moderate Vinyasa. I had hoped to be outdoors. It's beautiful out, but the black flies are also beautifully out. And so I decided at the last minute to bring the studio back inside and work with what we have here, which is black fly less, thankfully. So for today's class, we'll be kind of working from the ground up, really focusing on our base, our root chakra, and building into strong warrior poses. And let's begin with a child's pose. So make yourself comfortable, settling in, nice wide knees. We'll be here for a few breaths. Dropping the weight back into the heels. If you have a cat in the way, you can certainly move him or her, or maybe just work around him. So take a moment really to settle in here. I'm going to come out of child pose so you can hear me, but I'm going to really encourage you to lengthen through the back body. Bringing the breath all the way from the nose right down to the tailbone as you lengthen the spine with every exhalation, just releasing, dropping the weight into the heels, softening the muscles of the back, the muscles of the jaw, muscles of your brow, around your brow, on your face, muscles of the shoulders. Settling even deeper into your child pose this morning. And from here, let's begin to find a little movement. So making your child pose a little more active by lengthening out through one hand and then the other, lengthening through triceps, your shoulders, the back body, bringing a little movement to this posture, and begin to find a little side movement. So I'm actually even just bringing my hands together, dropping over to the side, lifting one shoulder, lifting the other shoulder. Breathing into those opening spaces. And next time you come through center, let's inhale and uncurl ourselves from here. Just unrolling yourself, inhaling up, perhaps bringing the knees under the shoulders and hips. We inhale very slowly and just take a breath here. And if it doesn't work to be on your knees, then you can either support your knees with another blanket, or you can come to a seated position. So we're just pushing up against the sky here. And then exhaling, coming right back to child pose. Knees are a little bit closer as you settle in. And then uncurl with the breath. Once again, taking a big sunrise breath here. Lifting and lengthening. Exhale, we drop back down. So let's continue here for several breaths as you uncurl. Breathing into the sunshine. Exhaling and coming back down. Back down. One more time. Uncurl. Big breath here as you widen into the day, opening the heart. Exhale and come on back down. Settling yourself into another wide-kneed child pose. We'll be here for several breaths. Dropping in, lengthening through the back body. And I'm going to leave you there and talk to you as you breathe. So I encourage you to think about the breath really moving throughout the entire body this morning. So your fingertips are reaching forward. Let the breath start at the fingertips and move all the way up the arms, down the back body, into the hips, down the feet, down the legs, and into the feet. So this, and then as you'll draw that breath once again, and we'll start it the other way. So we're drawing the breath from the feet all the way up the legs, up the spine, out to the fingertips, and release it. And then drawing again the other way, taking the breath all through the body and releasing. So just take your breath, let it become natural. Breathing in and out of the body as you continue to stay in your child pose. Envisioning the breath filling your body as it moves in both directions. And begin to think about what you'd like to let go of this morning. What are you carrying today, or just in this moment, that you don't need? What can you let go? Where can you let go? Using the exhalation, we'll take about 3 exhalations to really let go of whatever it is. Just dropping it right into the earth, letting it go into the room. Maybe you're on your deck if you don't have as many black flies as I do. Just letting it go. Taking another breath to find exactly what you need to release this morning. And then with the next 3 or 4 breaths, what would you like to bring into your body? It can be a thought, a feeling, an idea, a color, a sensation. What makes sense to bring into the body this morning that you have maybe been wanting, been needing, looking for? Every inhalation pulls that thing you've been so needing right into the body. And after your next exhalation, coming back to ordinary breath. We're still in child pose. And I encourage you to seal your intention with the single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. And with the next breath, we inhale up, coming all the way to all fours. Hands are planted on the mat about shoulder width apart or a little bit wider. Knees are under your shoulders as you begin to find some cat and cow stretches. And I will come to the side here. We're exhaling into the scared cat, inhaling into the old cow. Bringing a little bit of side movement in. And then maybe a little bit of circling with the hips. As I said earlier, we're really building up from the ground today. Slowly making our way up. So finding some stretches here and some breath. Staying with the breath with each movement. And coming to a neutral spine. Starting with whichever leg makes sense for you. I have my left leg, but I'm going to bring my left knee forward with an exhale, and inhale and open up. Exhale and inhale. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Last time we lift and lengthen, reaching from the crown all the way out to the toes. And then with one movement, dropping that foot over to the side. Let's come to Parigasana or gate pose here, landing with the foot on the floor. And come into a big stretch here, sort of like an extended, awkward downward dog. We're walking the hands out from underneath the shoulders, probably a foot or more, reaching back into the hips. And you may feel this in your leg, I sure do. Settling back as I breathe and lengthen into the back body here. Inhale, just shift forward, and then we exhale back. Couple more times. And landing here, let's bring the hands back under the shoulders. And so I have my left leg extended. I'm going to inhale the right arm in the air, exhale and thread the needle coming down to my right shoulder, the right side of my head. Inhaling the left arm in the air. And let's take a few breaths here as we exhale and inhale and open. One more time. Exhaling, bringing that hand right under the shoulder, support yourself back to your gate pose. And now let's try something a little different here. And so that was it was the right hand that was underneath. This time I'm going to inhale the left arm in the air. Exhale and thread it in the other direction. So I'll be facing away from you. So I have my left leg extended and my left arm is threaded under the right as I come into this twist. And inhale, opening up, exhale into the twist. And exhale. And one more time. This time we'll land for a couple of breaths. Noticing here what you can soften. Can you let go of that left leg a little bit? Softening in the hamstrings, around the knee. Next breath, we come back to center. Bring that leg in and drop right into a child pose, taking a nice big breath here. And coming up, we'll come over to the other side. So landing in your all fours. From here, we want to begin with hands right under the shoulders. And the other leg, this time it's my right leg, exhales into the body. We inhale and open up. Exhale and inhale. And from here, let's take this leg out to the side, dropping the foot where it's most comfortable. Leg is long and straight, coming into Parigasana or gate pose. We'll walk the hands out where you can comfortably reach them. Your hips are still over the knee here. We take a breath and exhale, dropping in, inhale and reach. Exhale. And as you come up this time, hands come back underneath the shoulders. And we'll take this left arm, just dropping it, threading it under the right. Inhale the right arm in the air, or whatever side the leg is for you. So we have an extended leg and the up arm is the same arm, same side. Taking a good breath here, and then exhale, let it go. Inhale and open up. And we exhale. And this time the hand comes down, lands under your shoulder as you support yourself back to all fours. And that same arm that was moving inhales all the way up to the sky. We exhale and thread the right hand underneath and behind the left arm, landing gently, and then inhale, open wide. Exhale. So you're in a twist here, you're in a gate twist. And one more. This time we'll land for a couple of beats, finding a comfortable place for the shoulder to land. And if the shoulder doesn't land, you can always perch on your elbow and the forearm. You drop in, take a couple of breaths here, perhaps even lifting the left arm. And then inhaling back to center, bring this long leg in, drop into child pose. Inhaling, uncurl yourself here, and we'll come back up to the front of the mat. And so, starting here, let's find downward dog for the morning. Letting hands be a little wider than the shoulders, knees are about hip width apart. We tuck the toes, exhale, and drop into downward, what might be your first downward dog of the day, or week, month, year. All are welcome here. And we just start to find some space. So we're bending into one knee, finding some space in the back body. And then all of us, let's come up on the toes, lengthening up through the tailbone, extending through the shoulders, really reaching here and dropping in to child pose. Take one breath here. Inhale right back up. We'll tuck those toes again. And let's take the right leg in the air with the breath. I need to shift a little forward here. So right leg is up in the air, lengthening as you drop into that standing foot. Let's take the next 5 breaths to exhale and bring the knee forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, knee comes forward. Inhale up. You can also just stay right in downward dog. And the next time you lift and lengthen this leg, let's just do a couple of hip circles in one direction and then a couple in the other. Lengthening right back up, and from here we'll sweep this right foot forward to the outside of the right hand, coming to this lunge here. And the back leg can stay straight and strong, reaching out through the heel, or you can bring that back knee to the floor. So figure out what works best for you as we do a few pulses here. So we're just shifting back, inhaling forward. We exhale and inhale. One more. Inhaling forward, we'll leave the left hand on the floor. Inhale up with the right arm, lengthening up through fingertips. Breathing from fingertip to all the way through the shoulders into the other hand. We'll exhale. Bring that hand to the floor. Let's step ourselves right back, coming to three-legged dog. Lengthen up, foot lands. Drop in, take a breath or two in child pose, maybe bringing the hands alongside the body. letting your head tuck, lengthen through the back body. And then we inhale up from here. Let's do the same on the other side. So we're tucking into downward dog. Still warming up this morning. And let's begin with that left leg in the air, lengthening up, dropping into the right heel. And for the next 5 breaths, we'll exhale, shift that knee forward, inhale and lift. Bringing belly button to the back body with every exhalation. And from here, we'll step this left leg all the way to the outside of that left hand. And again, knee can drop to the floor, or you can stay here with this nice long and straight back right leg, reaching back through the heel. Landing here and taking a few pulses. So we shift back and bow, inhaling forward and bow. I think one more. Coming forward, right hand stays on the floor as we lift and lengthen right up through the left arm here, dropping into that front leg, lengthening out through the back leg and breathing. Exhale, hand back to the floor, step back to 3-legged dog, get another little stretch here, and walk our feet forward. Dropping right into standing forward bend. This might be a great place to find blocks if the floor is too far away this morning. Let's take a nice breath, lengthening out through the back body. Exhale down and drop right into your forward fold or Uttanasana. Releasing the head, softening the knees just a little, softening the brow. Maybe even softening the breath. And then with your next breath, walk your way up the body as you uncurl and reach all the way up. Exhaling and bringing hands right to the heart, coming to Anjali Mudra. Take a moment with the eyes closed to notice your connection with the floor and with the earth. And this seems like a perfect place to set some intentions. Take the opportunity to set intentions for yourself, or to remember the intentions you've set, or even to send this practice out with gratitude to a loved one or a loved pet. And from here, let's inhale up, dropping into both feet. Let's interlace the fingers here and reach up to the sky, reaching through one arm and then the other. And as you reach through one arm, consider lifting the opposite hip. So coming up on your toes and reach up and reach up. The door is about to slam shut. Sorry about that. And dropping into both feet here. Let's bring a hand to the crown. The other hand comes behind the back as you lift and lengthen here. We'll drop over. Bring a little bit of gentle movement A little bit of back and forth, releasing the jaw, releasing the muscles of the face. A little bit of back and forth. Inhaling up to center. Let's switch sides here. Reaching right up into the crown and dropping over. Softening the brow. The jaw. Letting go of any facial expression this morning. And inhaling up. Take a moment to just work out any little kinks in the shoulders. We'll be moving into heart vinyasa. So come to the front of your mat, please. Dropping into both feet, shoulders drop down the back, palms open forward. As you drop into both feet, find all corners of the feet here, lengthening up through the crown. Let's take a breath and inhale up. Exhale, hands behind the back, lifting through the heart, finding a little back bend there. Next breath, knees bend. Exhale, hands are together and lift to the sky. Head drops. Inhale, sweep the arms up, coming right into chair pose or Utkatasana. Let's take 5 breaths here with exhaling sweeps. Rooting into both feet. Inhaling, dropping right into both feet. Once again, we're lengthening out through fingertips, tucking the tailbone just a little bit, settling in. And then hands come to the heart. We'll find a twist. Letting the gaze come to the side, or if you need a little more stability, it can stay on the mat. Inhaling, arms forward. Let's exhale, hands to the floor, straighten those legs, drop the head. Drop in. And let us come into a standing split here. So hands on the floor, let's bring the right leg in the air. Perfect place to stay, but you can also consider leaving the right hand on the floor, reaching up with the left and finding that foot. Opening hamstrings, quads, breathing into the core, breathing into the second chakra, the hips, breathing from the earth all the way up. One more breath. And then hand comes to the floor, foot lands. We'll inhale, hands to the knees, lengthen to a flat back. Take a nice breath here before exhaling and sweeping all the way up. Hands reach up and land at the heart. So let's try that on the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, we bow, knees are bent, hands lift, head drops. And for your next 5 breaths, let's inhale to Utkatasana. Exhale and sweep. Inhale and sweep. Exhale. And this time we'll land in Utkatasana. So chair pose here. We're dropping in, settling into both feet and finding that connection with the earth as you gently just tuck the tailbone a little bit here. settle. And then exhaling, hands to the floor. We'll straighten the legs, let the head release. Find some softness here before we move to the next posture. Where can you let go? And let's take the left leg in the air, landing in our standing split. Perfect place to stay, but you can also leave that left hand on the floor, reach up with the right hand, and find your foot dropping into this strong posture as you root down into the floor through the standing foot and your hand. Hand releases, foot eventually comes back. Take a breath here, and then we'll bend those knees, climb our way up, uncurl all the way up. Lifting and lengthening here. Hands find each other and come to the heart. Taking a good breath. And another one. Maybe get a drink. And I just remembered we didn't do the twist on that side. So let's come back to that twist. Which means we need to start here, exhaling into our chair. Find your prayer pose and land in this twist. Taking 5 strong breaths here. Letting your gaze come to the floor if you need just a little more stability. And inhaling forward. Let strong legs support you all the way up. Coming into a little bit of a back bend. Hands come together and find your heart. Beautiful. All right, friends, let's come to the front of the mat. We'll be working our way from Warrior 1 to Warrior 2 and kind of see where we get from there. Working with a little goddess and some warrior breaths this morning. So starting with feet right underneath you. Take a nice breath here, just dropping into the earth. We'll scrunch those shoulders up, drop them down the back body. Palms open forward. And once you've arrived here, take a moment to really arrive. So wiggling toes, finding front and backs, side to side. Notice where you need to maybe you've been wanting to shift. Where have you been looking for a shift? We'll land. And with the next breath, as we inhale, arms up in the air, we'll be stepping straight back with the right foot, and that foot can land either straight back like railroad tracks or land at a 45-degree angle. And so here we go. Inhale up, stepping back with the right foot, taking it straight back. Again, finding your angle needed for that foot. The front knee wants to be right over the front foot, no further forward than the ball of the foot. Back leg, hamstrings are reaching toward the back wall. We're dropping the shoulder blades down back, lifting through fingertips. And just noticing here where we can soften. Where can you let go this morning? So taking another breath and settling a little deeper here. Let's fire this up a little bit with some warrior breaths. So hands come to fists if you're comfortable with that. And we take an inhale and exhale and so 5 breaths there. 1. Nice big exhale. And let's do one more. Inhaling up, dropping in, softening. And then shifting the weight to the front leg. You can step forward just a little bit. Front leg is still bent. Back leg comes around, and we'll be moving right into eagle. So you're landing on that left leg. The left leg is bent. Right leg comes around and either lands on the side or comes all the way around. Dropping into this powerful pose, perhaps finding a focal point in front of you that helps stabilize you. And then the right arm drops, left arm drops in. Finding our eagle arms, holding the gaze on your drishti or focal point, and breathing. Dropping that breath right into the earth. One more breath. Back is straight. And then wings open wide. And we land. Hands come to the heart. Nice work. Coming back to the front of the mat. Let's try that. Let's try that with the other side. So we're landing on both feet. Palms are forward. Lifting through the crown as the shoulders drop down the back body. Noticing here, even in this seemingly simple posture, where can you let go? And with our next breath, we'll inhale up and step back with the left leg. So we inhale, left leg steps back. We're looking for a leg length back. Settle yourself in. Front knee is bent and just about over, kind of over the center of the foot or over the heel. We drop the shoulder blades down the back body, lifting through the crown here, taking it a little deeper. Lifting the back hamstring to the back wall. Tailbone is tucked. Nice breath. And then find our warrior breaths. We inhale, let's take a practice run, and exhale. And 5 more breaths. Inhale up, land. Steady, strong. From here we shift a little forward, preparing that front leg to support us here. We're dropping into the standing front leg, which is slightly bent. Left leg comes around front, either staying to the side or tucking around. Find the stability here as you settle in, holding a drishti. And then left arm comes out, right arm tucks in. And we'll land here in our eagle. Strong, standing leg, noticing the connection with the earth. And then inhale, opening. Hands come to the heart. Nice work. Beautiful. Okay. So for this next round, I'll be using my side mat here. We'll be working with Warrior 2 and Goddess. And so we begin, as always, in our strong mountain pose or Tadasana. Shoulders are dropped down the back, tailbone is a little tucked. We drop in and we arrive before beginning. Taking another breath, noticing the connection with the floor and the earth. And when you're ready, let's step back with the right leg, landing at a 45-degree angle, and dropping into Warrior 2. So front leg, work it a little bit as you settle in. We're warming these muscles up still, lengthening out through fingertips here. Gaze can be gently over the left hand. We're settling in, but gaining strength as you find connection from fingertip to fingertip, lifting through the crown as the tailbone tucks, breathing. Two more breaths here. And from here, let's come into our side angle or Utthita Parsva Konasana, lengthening up through the right fingertips, reaching, finding that connection from right fingertip all the way to the side of the right foot as you gently peek under your right armpit and breathe. One more breath. Inhaling up, we arrive back at warrior two, and then straighten that front leg. Toes come in, and then we'll walk our feet in a little bit. So we want to bring the feet maybe 6 inches both in from both sides. Landing at 45, with feet at a 45-degree angle. And then we drop into our goddess. So I'm actually going to bring my feet in a little wider, a little closer together actually. So tucking the tailbone, lifting through the crown. Arms lift and are strong here. Let's settle a little deeper, finding your goddess. Strong legs, knees are about over the ball of the foot. And from here, we'll lengthen up, find those fists, and exhale into some warrior breaths with a ha. So it will be a inhale and ha. Let's try that 5 times. One more. Inhale, let's drop a little deeper. And then straighten. We'll turn to warrior two on the other side. And so take a moment to arrive here, finding your spot, lengthening out through fingertips, settling into power up, letting the gaze be gently over the right fingertips here, and breathing. Let's take 5 more breaths. Tailbone tucks as you lift through the crown, back leg is straight and strong. 2 more breaths. And from here we land and lengthen, coming to Utthita Parsva Konasana or side angle. Gently peeking under this left arm and armpit. One more breath. Inhaling right back up to our warrior two. Take a breath here, strong legs supporting you. And then we straighten, turn to the front. One more round of goddess warrior breath. So find your goddess. Land where your body says yes. And from here, we inhale up, exhale. And with this round of, so I have the windows open, and I'm going to close the window on my dog. Hi Luna, be quiet please. It's a good girl. So coming right back to your goddess, have you been holding it this whole time? Good job. So with this round of warrior breaths, we'll be inhaling and straightening, exhaling and one more. Landing right here, lengthening up through the crown, letting the tailbone really tuck as you lift and lengthen, finding strength. And then releasing, coming into 5-pointed star. We'll walk the feet in. And exhale, hands to the heart. Nice work, everyone. So come on down to your mat, please. Couple things I'd like to do this morning. I think first let's just make sure we get a pigeon in. So, coming to all fours. Maybe take a moment here to just round the back body in both directions, find a little wag. Just work out any kinks that may have shown up. And from here, let's bring the right knee forward. We'll keep bringing it right under the right hip, the right shoulder. Right foot is engaged. We scooch back through that left leg. And I'll do this from the side so people can get a little better angle. So I was mirroring, but now I'll use my right leg. Left leg goes back. We inhale up. Exhale down. Right foot is engaged. We're looking for a fairly flat back here, but let your body really guide you here. You may want to support this hip in some way, either with your fist, or with a block, or a blanket. Breathing in to the whole body here. We'll eventually come to a twisted pigeon if that's something that works for your body. I am threading my left hand underneath the right arm and dropping in. Head is turned to the side. Breathing into this hip. And then inhaling, hands land underneath the shoulders. We lengthen, lift and lengthen right back up into a king pigeon here. While we're here, why not? Let's drop into the left hand, reach back with the right arm. Find this beautiful pigeon variation. Lengthening up through the crown, dropping both hips really, but dropping into the left hip as you reach up. Bring this leg in for a good quad stretch. One more breath. We'll release and let's sweep around, coming back to all fours. We'll bring the left knee forward. Left foot is engaged. Right leg scooches back. We want to find our king pigeon here. Breathing into the front body. This beautiful, gentle back bend. And exhale down. Left foot is engaged. Again, noticing where your body is needing support this morning. You could consider bringing a fist under this left hip. You may be right on the ground and perfectly supported. But what is your body needing for support this morning? With your next breath, consider a twisted pigeon with the right arm tucking under the left. The head is turned to the left. Breathing into this great body from toes all the way to crown. And then supporting yourself with your next breath. Hands come underneath the shoulders as you lift and lengthen. Opening the heart here. We'll consider bending the back leg, reaching back with the right arm. Really opening the front body here. Dropping into both hips, coming a little deeper into this stretch, really finding the quad. Hello, hello, hello. And we release. And settle yourself right back into a gentle child pose. Let's inhale up. And, at the risk of going a little long, I'd like to add another little set here. Coming to a nice seated position. I'll move some butt flesh out of the way. Again, lifting, if your hamstrings are tight, I say again because I say this every class, if your hamstrings are tight, find something to sit on here. But let's come into a baby cradle, or rock the baby. And I'm going to start by taking my left leg, bending that left leg, mirroring you here, taking the right leg in for a little baby cradle. A little gentle rocking. And if your body says, "Are you kidding? No way, no way," then just come to a cross-legged position and breathe. And for those who are in this baby cradle, let's drop this right leg over the left, drop into your right sits bone. I'm a little twisted here, but I have both sits bones on the floor, sitting tall. Exhale as you land. So we're inhaling and landing, twisting over to the right side. Finding some leverage against this right leg. Inhaling, lifting through the crown. Exhaling and twisting. We'll come back to center. Let's switch these legs around. So come to our baby cradle on this side. Left arm comes into the cradle, and find a little bit of movement here. Breathing. Noticing where your body needs to let go. How can you let go? Can you breathe into that, or shift the body around in some way? What can you do to shift? And again, if this is not in your practice, then sitting in a cross-legged posture is perfect. And from here, we'll drop the leg over to the side, sit tall, dropping into both sits bones. With your next breath, we inhale, open this door, hugging the left leg in as you sit tall, and open the left shoulder, the left upper body. Breathing. And come on back to center. We'll untangle the legs. Shake them out. And I invite you to come to your back body, please. We are getting ready for Shavasana, but we have a couple more things to do. So landing on the back. Take a moment to arrive here. And I invite you to do some leg lifts with me this morning. Hands can come underneath the hips, shoulders tuck under a little bit as the legs straighten. And pick your number. I'm going to choose 10 for myself this morning. I am exhaling up, inhaling down. Play with the breath here. What works best for you? And if having legs together doesn't work, consider either bending your knees and coming up, or perhaps bringing one leg at a time. Lots of options here. But make sure the breath is part of your movement. And when you found the right number for you this morning, let's bend the knees. Drop into the back body. We'll bring the knees in for a hug, a little gentle rocking. Eventually dropping the knees over to one side, we open the arms wide, breathing into the side body, into the hips, the belly. Inhaling up to center. We'll drop our legs in the other direction. And inhaling back to center. Make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. So take this opportunity to really settle in. Connecting with the floor. Softening the jaw. And the brow. Noticing your breath and then letting that awareness go. Om, Om Bhurvasva, Tatsaviturvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Prachahudayat. Om Bhurvasva, Tatsaviturvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Prachahudayat. Om Bhurvasva, Tatsaviturvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Prachahudayat. Om. Hello, sun in my face. Hello, you who make the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories and into the windows of even the miserable and the crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star, that just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. And so very gently, take a few deep breaths. Start to bring a little movement into the body. And as you're ready, knees can come in for that final hug before dropping over to your side, taking a breath there. Make your way on up to a seated position. Letting the sits bones drop into the floor and into the earth, lengthening up through the crown. With the eyes closed or the gaze softened, let's inhale the arms up overhead. Palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. Take this moment here to think back to the intentions you set, or perhaps the gratitude you sent out into the world. And also thank yourself for coming to this practice. We'll end class today with a single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. Om.